Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nara and here we're discussing astrology, spirituality, and psychology. And this video is about moon in Scorpio or the 8th house. If you don't know your planetary placements, your moon sign, the moon house placement, then you might want to go ahead and check out the astro.com, which I'm going to link down below. But if you happen to have this placement, then welcome to this video. Before I start, actually, I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe to my astrology newsletter, which I'm going to link down below so that you never miss out on the astrological updates, which I actually send out my thoughts on the go regarding the transits and astrological updates pretty much. And by the way, Venus went direct, so which is good, and I definitely update you in my email, my newsletters. If you have moon in Scorpio, it's considered being in fall. So we have four essential dignities of planets in astrology. We have exaltation, domicile, fall, and detriment. So detriment and fall are considered negative. But the way they're considered negative is because the planet that is in the sign pretty much doesn't feel very comfortable in a particular sign because the sign doesn't offer the qualities that will allow that planet to express itself fully and efficiently, right? Therefore, it's in fall or detriment. You have moon in Scorpio is in fall. However, if you have moon in Taurus, which is my placement, it's in exaltation. When you have moon in Scorpio, it's in fall. However, when you have moon in Taurus, it's exalted, my placement. So it's always this axis is connected. So either a planet will be exalted, and if it's exalted in this placement, in this sign, then the opposite sign will get a fall or detriment. You know, this is how it works. Moon is our emotions, right? And it's not just emotions, it's actually our unconscious patterns, emotions, thought patterns. It's our comfort zone as well. It's our sanctuary within ourselves, right? Because remember, moon rules the 4th house and Cancer. Cancer is a crab and it belongs to the water element. However, it's the very first, right, sign out of water element, and Cancer is all about emotions. But Cancer is different from other water signs because Cancer wants to actually, its water element is very internal. Okay, like in astrology, even planets, right, they're transiting, they play out as an internal feeling within. And water element is feelings within, emotions, containing emotions, holding your emotions within. Whereas fire signs, earth signs are without, right? They put out, material world. Water, the opposite of them, within. Right? So Cancer, right, out of all water, even though they're they want to hold their emotions within and not share and not put out there, the crab actually wants to put it out there, but then they get hurt and then they go back into their shell. Okay, and this is how the moon works. And moon actually moves every 2 days, and it fluctuates. And moon actually forms the most aspects throughout the month because it moves the fastest and it aspects a lot of planets as it moves. So Cancer people, like people who have predominant placements in Cancer or moon in Scorpio, for instance, too, because it gives that power of the water element, you're going through a lot of emotions, okay, on a daily basis. Whatever the moon is doing out there in the sky is definitely affecting you on a daily basis. Relax. It's our emotional patterns. It's our comfort zone. It's whatever makes us emotionally at home, right? Because 4th house is the home and family. It's mother. Moon represents mother. It's our digestive system too. It's how secure we feel at home. And do we have a security? Do we have a home where we feel secure? And some people who have difficult aspects with moon signify that they struggle to find that home that they probably maybe had when they were kids, but then maybe they separated from their family, parents, which happens right after 18. And now they're trying to find this home, you know, outside of their family. or they never had a family and they're trying to, as a result, to create a family. But moon, psychologically speaking, in terms of your behavior and how it affects you, having this placement, moon doesn't really feel comfortable in Scorpio, because moon, like I said, it wants to relax. It's the patterns, right? It's the opposite of the logical mind, because remember, moon and sun, they're pretty much, you know, they're reflecting one another, especially. So the main difference between moon and sun, because two are luminaries and I'm a luminary, I'm a sun in Leo. Sun is our logical mind, is our ego, okay? It's your conscious mind, where you're mindful of your actions and you are able, you have an ability to choose how you want to act, what you want to do, how you want to behave, who you want to talk to, what choices, decisions you want to make in your life in order to become that person, that sun sign that you are here to become, right? In order to become the higher version of yourself. However, and the conscious mind constantly needs to put in the work, put in the effort, because if it doesn't consciously intend to be a certain way, to do certain things, to start doing certain things and stop doing other things, for instance, it requires consciousness, it requires mindfulness, right? Which is sun sign. The moon, it doesn't want to do that work. It doesn't want to think. It doesn't want to consciously decide or choose. So your moon sign is pretty much your patterns of behavior that you are used to repeat on, like, for years, you know, because it keeps you safe and secure. And obviously, looking at the sign, it tells us what exactly it means. So in Scorpio, Scorpio loves intensity. It is ruled by Pluto. To the 8th house, it rules the 8th house. It is ruled by the 8th house. And by the way, having moon in the 8th house would have similar implications. So there's a very close tie with the mother. Mother, because remember, Pluto is sex. 8th house is sex and rebirth. Moon is mother. Mother somehow influenced an individual, a kid, sexually. Like a lot of traumas came from experiences with the mother, and also experiences with death, whether they had someone die in their family and they were little and they witnessed that, which shook their world. It with this placement, it's possible. Or their mother something wasn't right about her sexuality, the way she moved. Maybe she was promiscuous, like, I don't want to. But this is Vedic astrology, actually, not even Western so much. But Vedic astrology does show that and tell us that. So early childhood experiences related to the topics of taboo, the 8th house, which is sex, rock and roll, death, rebirth, occult, right? It's also other people's money. It's an ability to be there for other people while they're going through financial crises. It's this placement. And actually, let's continue on this one. It's an ability to feel people emotionally and the undercurrents of everything. Like, you feel the trends of society. You feel it. Your emotions are raw. And in the Scorpio, it's raw. Okay, it doesn't like to sugarcoat. I always say Pluto influence acts in a way, manifests in a way that you want to dig deep into the root cause of things. And in this, with this particular placement, you need to get to the root cause of your emotions, and you need to understand your own motivations and not lie to yourself, because Pluto loves the truth. And if you don't give it the truth, it's not going to work with you. And wherever it's placed, eventually life experiences will lead you to discover just what I said. Why did I say that? Like, these people, like, they feel the undercurrents of everything. They feel the emotions of the public, of the collective, and they feel that pain with them. And remember, Scorpio it's an intense sign, but it is very different from Cancer and Pisces. So Cancer likes to nurture other people and get nurtured as a result, and it will put themselves out there, but if they don't get that in return, they will close off into their shell and, go back into waters. That's how Cancer is. Pisces is more of dreamy type, visualize, and this is something that they can't even control. It's their unconscious, okay? But when it comes to Scorpio doesn't like to be like emotional about everything, but it has to be obsessed over at least something and feel intense about something. And if they don't have that, they'll quickly find it, and it doesn't really matter. It's not about the things, it's about them, because they need to obsess over something always. It's just this sign and Pluto influence. And when you have Moon in Scorpio, it's just like you try to find that obsession, that control, right, to obsess over something. You start to like come up with all sorts of scenarios where thinking that people are you can't be vulnerable with others, that you can't show emotions, which I'm not telling you to do that towards everyone, right? Not everyone deserves that, but at the same time, you need to acknowledge the fact that to build and sustain relationship, you do need to show your emotion with the right people, of course. But this placement is very can't trust people. I mean, all Scorpionic placement can't trust people, but this one is like on a constant basis. You're like tortured by Pluto, where like you think, oh my gosh, like, can I open up or can't I? Or like, what will happen? Like, if I open up, they will hold more power over me. So this is what Plutonic energy does to you, and all of us, wherever it's placed. Pluto has this tendency to make us very fixated and very rigid, okay, because it makes us like want to control. And when we don't get that control, we get even more frustrated, and as a result, there's no energy flow anymore, and it's just not working in our favor. And we see that it's just not happening. The results are not consistent. Results are not the ones that you wanted to see. And it's literally teaching you to release control. And in this case of your emotions, have an ability to open up when you feel intuitively like you can open up, and not force yourself to just live by certain rules. Don't live by the rules. Live by the feelings, because you, like no one else, can know at the right time, whenever you need your higher self to tell you how to act in a given moment, even if you're not familiar with the moment. Because with this placement, people have this tendency to control it, each and every moment and its outcome, and how much power they have over each and every moment and person, and how much influence they have over everyone around them. And when this happens, then there's energy flow is blocked, and you just can't move. You gotta go with the flow in a lot of ways. Not always. Sometimes you gotta push your own agenda, but in a lot of ways, you need to go with the flow. And that's exactly what brings that abundance and stability. So with this placement, try to learn how to attend to your own emotions. Try to also be a little more vulnerable and trust people, because with this placement, it's really difficult to just to relax, emotionally speaking, and to just let go. Will get in the way of your relationships. So try to identify that. Having aspects with Moon will give us a better picture of what's going on with your life when it comes to emotions and how you can handle them, or maybe you're struggling to handle them. Like I said, being in fall, right? So when a planet is in fall, Moon wants to relax, but Scorpio wants to be intense about things, right? And when this happens, these two meet, right? When the transits are taking place in the sky and you're born at that time. Like, I personally have a Moon opposite Pluto. Really bad. And it's a difficult placement. Probably one of the most difficult placements in my chart, and I very much suggest you guys check those out. predominant placements. Not each and every placement deserves your attention. I mean, every placement and aspect deserves your attention, but not for you to obsess over it and read into it too much. However, I want you to pay attention to the aspects with Moon, Sun, Pluto, and Saturn. Check out your Moon and Sun aspects, and if they are in hard aspect, which is these squares, and I'm going to show it here, or oppositions, I'm going to show it here. If you have these kinds of placements of Sun and Moon with Mars, Pluto, or Saturn, definitely comment, because those will be very, very impactful for your life, because Saturn is very important. I have a difficult placement with Saturn as well, and it was very helpful for me to read and learn about astrology and my own placement and utilize it to my advantage. So yeah, but let me know, guys, if this video resonates, and I will be covering all the Scorpio placements, planets in Scorpio this week, and then I'm gonna get into other videos like second house, a more comprehensive video. But yeah, definitely go ahead and subscribe to my astrology newsletter and email me if you have any questions. But thank you all very much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.